What's up, my friend? Welcome back to another video. And today I just wanted to show you a really quick overview of Kontakt 7, specifically for like orchestral composition. But really, if you're new to the Kontakt ecosystem, it's actually very similar to the previous Kontakt versions. There's just an updated view that you can select your libraries from and load them into the player. So without further ado, let's quickly get into it. And so let me quickly show you the overview of this player. So this is Kontakt 7, and the main new feature here is this browser view here. So in the previous Kontakt versions like Kontakt 6 all the way down, they basically just had the regular libraries view on the left side that you can click and then click a patch and then load it into Kontakt, right? But here, if you click this top left corner here, this kind of bookshelf icon, you can switch between these different libraries, or different views, I should say. So here you can see all the different Kontakt player libraries that I have, the ones that have the ninked files that allow these libraries to show up right here on the left side. But let's say we actually want to load in a library that isn't made for the Kontakt player, so they don't have the ninked file, and you want to make sure that you can access it really easily from this view. Well, it's actually really simple. So all you got to do is come down here to the left corner and click the gear icon. And then what you want to do is click Add. So here you can see I've already added Pacific strings. I just did this for practice. So you can click Add, and then you can select the library that you want to add. So in this case, I'm just going to add Vista from Performance Samples. Click Open, and now you can see it's listed here. So now we're going to click Close. So now if we go down, we should be able to see Vista here. So let's see. Let's see Vista. So not here. Let's take a look under Performance Samples under the P, Piano, Pacific. Okay, so I actually realized the problem. I couldn't find the library before, but that was because I actually checked this box, import subfolders as individual libraries. So when I clicked the Vista library loaded up, but it showed up as instruments, and that's not what I want because instruments could mean anything, right? So what you want to do is uncheck this box, then click Add, and then in this case, let's click Vista again, Open, and now we can see that Vista shows up as its own name there, which is good. So now let's take a look at the very bottom. There's Vista. Let's do one more example. Let's take a look at maybe musical sampling soaring strings. So that's not a Kontakt player library. We're going to click Add. Here's soaring strings, Open. And now you can see that's updated there. So there's soaring strings, Close, and let's see, soaring strings. So now what's really cool is you can take a look here, and these are all the patches from that library. If I unselect it, now it shows me every single patch that I have available that's downloaded to my hard drive. But if I just click that one, now I can choose. So let's say I click Legato Cellos, I double click it, and now it's going to show up here in this Kontakt view as soaring strings there. And it's going to load up the library, which is really cool. One other thing you can do, though, to find specific patches you're looking for is up here in the search bar, you can literally type in what you're looking for. So maybe I want sound design. Type that, and it gives me a couple of patches or libraries that have sound design in them, right? Let's try another one. Let's say I want basses. I want some double basses. These are all the libraries that have double basses in them. Let's try one more, or just basses in general. Super Audio Card doesn't have double basses, but it has basses in them, right? How about flute, right? So all these libraries have flutes. See Cinematic Studio Woodwinds, they have 2 flutes, they have a solo flute, so I can double click that and then load it in. So the advantage to this approach really is that it enables you to find the sound you're looking for right away that you're hearing in your head, and then type it into Kontakt, and Kontakt basically finds all the available flutes, woodwinds, whatever they are for you, instead of having to go through your libraries and decide, ooh, does this library have the instrument I'm looking for? You know, and ask yourself that question. This is a much quicker way to do it if you want to do that. So really, really neat. The last thing they really offer here is the ability to save certain patches as like favorites. So let's say I really like this solo flute patch. I play around with it a little bit. I really enjoy it. I can click this star right here. So now it's basically saved as one of my favorites. So if I reset, I take a look at my starred patches. You can see here that this patch shows up as the starred one. So I can unstar that. And now if I take a look at stars again, there's nothing there because there's no favorited patches. So that's one other cool thing that you can do. But aside from that, if we go back to the traditional Kontakt view that we're used to, if we compare it side by side to Kontakt 6, you can see there's really just one main difference here, and that is where these options are located. So there's the save icon, there's the settings icon, the display icon. All of these in Kontakt 6 are now located on the left side in Kontakt 7. So yes, here's the additional thing that we've been taking a look at, the different view switchers. But aside from that, here's the save view, and here is where you do your batch resaving, you reset multis, and so on and so forth, load a new instrument. It's all located now on the left. And then the settings icon, of course, you can tweak your own settings. And then here you can show or hide different things. I usually recommend having them all open. I usually don't have quick load open, but keyboard for sure, outputs for sure, especially if you want to make sure every MIDI track in your session has the signal coming out of the respective channel, right? So I'm going to keep outputs there. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you can take, you can always minimize it. So hide the libraries view, open it back up, and that's pretty much it. Aside from that, though, Kontakt 7 is pretty much the same as the previous versions. I find myself still sticking to Kontakt 6 for most purposes, just because it eliminates that extra choice of having to go into this other view and search up my libraries. But you know, it's a nice option to have if you're interested in that sort of workflow. So that can certainly help for you. But yeah, that's the main overview of Kontakt 7. Really, really quick. You can still load in your instruments as usual. You can still batch resave. You can do everything you could do in the previous versions, I think. But it's just a matter of having that additional view to help you find your instruments faster and also load in your instruments that are not necessarily Kontakt Player friendly, like we did with Vista and Soaring Strings, as we just demonstrated. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. If you're interested in picking up Kontakt yourself and giving it a whirl, you can check out the link below in the description box. It is an affiliate link, which just means that part of your payment will come back to support me in this channel if you do decide to purchase Kontakt through that link. It's greatly appreciated. Of course, there's no obligation there whatsoever. But if you want to try out Kontakt for yourself, it's a great platform to run mainly like piano libraries, orchestral libraries with. A lot of third-party developers will use Kontakt as their main sampler for their instruments instead of having to build their own sampler. Kontakt really is the industry standard, so hence why it's so popular. And before you go, again, if you're interested in maybe setting up your studio, making sure you have the necessary equipment for making sure you're basically set up to create music and produce music, then I want to give you my Composer's Toolkit guide, and it goes over the essentials that you really need for your home studio. It goes over hardware and software and prices as well, things that I personally recommend and use on a regular basis. And there's no frills in there. You can take it and directly apply it to your setup right away, just to make sure you're covering all your bases when you want to compose and produce music. So I want to give it to you absolutely free. It's also in the description box below, the contact link, and you can grab it there as my thank you to you for checking out this video today. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.